Hello, fellow classmates. Today, me and Jasmine will be talking about two government shutdowns that Donald Trump has caused since he was president. The first one is the one that occurred in December of 2018. The federal government is en route to reopen 3 days after its intentional shutdown. The re-announcement of government is taking place after the Senate Democrats concerned their demands of a vote in legislation to protect Deferred Action for Childhood Arrival, or DACA, recipients composing for the previous stipulations. The Senate passed a short-term spending bill Monday that will fund the Government House through February 8th. The bill advised and passed through the House, and the government is now set to reopen after the spending bill is signed into law by President Donald Trump. The funding bill that allowed for the government to reopen also allowed for reauthorization of the Children's Health Insurance Program, or CHIP. CHIP is now reauthorized for the next 6 years during low-cost health coverage for children and families that do not qualify for Medicaid, but protect for DACA recipients. The main issue for continuation during the government shutdown remains uncertain. What is government shutdown? A government shutdown takes place when the Congress fails to pass a new government funding law, allowing the previous funding to expire without renewal. In a shutdown, service in government considers non-essentials are put on hold, and the thousands of government employees who are responsible for these non-essential services are furloughed. During the government shutdown, thousands of employees were furloughed, including large shares of employees from the Department of Housing and Urban Development and the Department of Education. Some government agencies, such as the Environmental Protection Agency, had sufficient resources to continue to operate at full capacity. Despite the shutdown, these furloughs had ended now that the government is reopening. What led this government shutdown? The conflict that originally led to this year's government shutdown began in September 2017, when the Trump administration announced its intent to restart the DACA program and gave Congress 6 months to pass a legislation that would protect DACA recipients. No new applications have been accepted to the DACA program since September 5th. The government shutdown was afforded by efforts by Democrats to force a vote on legislation to protect DACA recipients. DACA currently protects 690,000 people, but this number will rapidly dwindle if Congress fails to act to protect DACA before March 5th. The current deadline given by the Trump administration, according to data released by the Department of Homeland Security, more than 900 documented individuals may lose their protected status every day after March 5th if lawmakers do not meet the deadline. The push of Democrats for Congress to address the threat to DACA program was largely unsuccessful. The final agreement between Democrats and Republicans that resulted in the reopening of the government did not include any protection for DACA, but only a promise to hold a vote regarding the status of DACA recipients by February. Okay, that's one of two government shutdowns. The second government shutdown I will be talking about is the recent one that happened in 2019. First question is what is a government shutdown? In United States politics, a government shutdown occurs when Congress fails to pass or the president refuses to sign appropriatency legislation funding federal government appropriations and agencies. Number 2, how does it affect families? Americans Battle Monument Commission, Congress Consumer Product Safety Commission, Department of Agriculture, Department of Commerce, Department of Defense 1.6 Military Academies, Department of Education, Department of Energy. Number 3. How does it affect people with government jobs? A policy is typically described as a principle or rule told decisions and achieved environmental outcomes. The term is non-normal used to denote what is actually done. This is normally referred to as either produce or protocol, whereas a policy will contain the what and the why procedures, or Polkins would be developed and adopted by senior exclusive officers. 3. I'm at 4. Sorry. List 2 government shutdowns. List the reason why. Number 1, the one that happened in 2018. It occurred because next one. The second one was the one that happened in 2019. My reason why is because Donald Trump tried to make an agreement with Congress, which they didn't agree, so he was asking for money so they can help him build the wall. But they disagreed, so that is why the shutdown is happening. Number 5, what is one way that we can avoid government shutdown? One way we can stop from another government shutdown is that we can all come to peace. And I was looking on Google and I found Donald Trump's tweet, and it said, "I would be willing to shut down government if the Democrats do not give us the votes of border security, which includes the wall. Must get rid of the lottery, catch and release, etc., and finally go to system of immigration based on MERIT. We meet great people coming into our country." This was posted on July 29, 2018 at 5:13 a.m. 131K people liked it, and 88.2K people were talking about this report. Number 6, research one shutdown event and tell us about it. One government shutdown that I researched was the one that happened this year. What I was talking about was about the wall, and Donald Trump tried to make an agreement with Congress, but Congress disagreed because they did not want the wall built due to racism of Mexican people. And I fully understand that we shouldn't be judged by our races, but I don't know why the government shutdown is occurring due to the races of building the wall. That is the end of my presentation. I hope you guys like it. Thank you for watching.